Hey guys, I'm back with another video. I know it's been a while, but I have been fighting with health stuff, so here it is. I thought I would show you to start off with. This is going to be kind of a glare. This is my reference book, and I use the arc binding system, so they're like discs, and you can just pull the papers in and out. So I use this sheet of, I don't know if it was, I think it's the transparencies that I got. They were really, really heavy duty, so I had, good strength there to work with. It also has another sheet of that over the front to keep my pages nice. So that's why that is a closure that will protect the edges of my pages, my tabs. It won't come open and get all splayed in my backpack because I keep it in my backpack, which is my handbag. I have a smaller Hello Kitty backpack. So I'll just flip through this really quick and kind of give you an idea of what is in here. I just used, this is heavy cardstock, and it even has the shiny embossing on it, so it's pretty sturdy. So I have like my watercolors, and I just kind of swatched them out, and mine is not nearly as pretty as what some of the gals on YouTube and stuff are doing, but it was an awesome idea, and I've been wanting to do it for a long time, so I finally did. So gouache, gelatos, colors. I kind of separated those out by color because I have like the whole set. Thankfully, I had a really good tax return a few years ago, and I treated myself. I rarely get to do that. So then my pencils, I have acrylics, my craft paints, I have inks. Like this is the alcohol inks, and on paper they were kind of icky. And I wanted to see what they were also like on a transparency, so you can see that. There. I did them on transparency so they would be easy to see what they look like on a clear. And I just have my miscellaneous inks, like I have some writing inks in here, and put all my pencils and pens in here. I have Prismacolors. I also have Design Spectracolor pencils. They are somewhat comparable to Prismacolors, but they are not light fast very much. What I was able to find on the internet about them, they are not very light fast. So just all my markers and pens, Then I have my cool, this is heavy cardstock that came out of a paper pack. And then I have like all my distress ones. I just used my fingerprint and wrote along. So those are all the distress pads. These are the stains I have. I have a couple of re-inkers. I'd like to get some more, especially for the ones I use a lot. And I just used a little button stamp to swatch out like my pigment inks. This is like other media, which is like glitter glue, liquid pearls, that kind of stuff. And I chose to put my little mini alpha stamps in here because you find them here and there for like $1 or something, and I don't want to buy the same ones I already have. So I put those in there. These are all of my punches. So I just punched them all and stuck them in there. And I punched the ones out here that are my hand squeezy punches, like your regular hole punch, but they have these other shapes. So I just punched those out of there so I know which ones I have. And I did my border punches in here too. These are my scissors, the different decorative scissors I have. Got those starting back in scrapbooking days. I've collected a couple different ones. One that looks like the stamp, edge of a postage stamp and stuff I got recently. And I have in here, probably be easier to kind of see the textures right about there. I put a sample from all of my embossing folders in here, and I just did a little sample because I didn't want my book to get huge, so I just cut out part of it and just labeled it so that I would know which one it was, and then I could also see the texture so that I wouldn't have, a lot of them don't have a name for the specific folder, so that's what I did. I just put a little sample of each one, and that one kind of came out of the page. I got that one stuck all the way in. They don't usually come out, so you just push it back in. Works great. And then I have samples of my washi tapes, which I have quite a few. And then I have my wish list in the back. So that is that. I just thought I would show you that before I get started. I'm going to start work on a journal page, and we'll see how far along I get. I'm not sure how much will go on my camera, so I might have to stop in the middle. But that's what I carry in my backpack. When I go to the store, I can get cool stuff. So after making that book, this is what prompted me to show you that book, is when I made them, I had cut all the swatches bigger, and then I needed to cut them down so that I could fit more on a page so it wouldn't be so bulky. So these are all the leftover pieces from all the different embossing pads, and I am going to put them down on a page in my journal, which I will get out here. I guess you can have a peek through my journal while I'm at it, and I'll flip through. I'm not going to go page by page and explain everything on this one. Okay. I started it out to have lots of this kind of paper in it. I didn't keep a lot of it in there. I should be able to see that in full frame. This is from my Gears Journal page video. That was another page. That's from my Bloom video. This kind of thing with these seed pods, that was something I kind of drew and developed as an idea and kind of kept it from a class with Milianda, and I've been using it for lots of different stuff. Oh, I'll show you one of the other, well, I've got it here. This is like the complete painting that I did when I finished coming up with that and developed it further. The assignment was to do like a finished painting using it. So there's that. That one is not going to go in my journal though. That is going to get framed because I really like it a lot. Here I was playing with those pencil shavings. This was kind of my experiment before I made the video because I wanted to kind of see what the texture is. It's a very cool texture. This started out to be an experiment. Uh-oh, sticky page. And just I had done something underneath of it, just trying out something, and then I went over it to make a journal page. I do that a lot. I experiment and stuff, and then later I just go over it. This is from the pencil shavings painting where I tried it out. It's really simple but fun. Some extra pages in here. I can move them around to wherever I want them. This is an acrylic skin, and I played with layers of, right on my craft mat like this, I just painted several layers of gel medium, one at a time, let it dry, paint it again, and then I embedded some paint and bits of napkin and another layer and some of this cheesecloth stuff and another layer. Part of a self-portrait thing I was doing, pulling prints off my bathroom mirror. Kind of like a jelly print. I drew on it with marker, and then I put a wet paper up against it and held it there and then peeled it off, and that's where I got that weird funky print. And just layers and layers and just let them dry. And so it's glued down now, but it's actually very substantial. I mean, you could sew through it, you could do whatever. It was thick. There I was just playing with some of my colors. It's not finished. The same with this. I was just farting around with my colors. I do that. My art journals get kind of funky sometimes. That one's kind of upside down. It was a house one. I actually, the black part is a stencil that I cut. So I was playing with that and just had to try out my houses. And I just stamped it over. You can see the background of the houses is got red and white in the background. That's over a page that I had played on and tried out something. This, I love this page. Oh, I don't know, will you even be able to see it in the video? There you go. You can see the gold around the stencil, but it's black with uber deep purple. Oh, I love it. And this, I have a punch for these flowers, and well, for all the little bits are from punches. And I like to make punched flowers. This, and it has the black lace. I kind of put it over so you can see. I really like it. This was just a loud page that started out with just shapes, and yeah, I was having that kind of day apparently. I like this one too. It kind of gets flattened out a little bit when it's closed up, but I really like that. My journal pages get like this. That's why it's so clunky and hard to work in sometimes. This is just a big decorative key that I got from, I don't even remember where. This is just another piece of that pattern paper that I'd stuck in. I was going to stamp something there and haven't got there, so this is one of my index cards, Rolodex cards. They're index card size, yeah. But there's that. Just, again, playing with shapes and colors, and because these pages are thick, they don't want to stay in the arc binding very well. And once they get pushed down on this, it kind of pops them. I won't use that system for binding my art journals anymore. I use it for other stuff, but I won't use it for my art journals because the pages are so heavy that they can just, you know, they have enough stiffness that they can just pull out. Here I just used my homemade modeling paste through a square stencil that I cut for myself. Playing, I have some modeling paste squinched on in the background. It's not done yet. There's a poppy. I think I did a page on that one. Maybe it was a different poppy page, I don't know. But that's where that's at. And then this. Oh, this is my puppy. That's just a silly picture. But our dog loves my wisteria. Loves it. Loves flowers. He'll sniff any flower. He loves it. But he loves the wisteria and he loves the lilac the best. Me too. But he will lay on his back and stick his feet up in the air, and he'll like reach his nose out really high and just sniff and sniff and sniff, and then he'll roll around, and he loves it. That, I was playing just with paint, and I think I had leftover paint or something, or was working on a project I was using that kind of paint. I'm just going to pop this back in here. So, oh, and this is trying out the peeled paint kind of technique. I'm not going to put that one back in because it doesn't have the holes. So I'm just going to flip to another page. And this looks to be a good one. So what I'm going to do is this. Just take it out of my journal because it is too chunky to work in. And I'm just going to start pasting these down, and I will probably fast forward from this point. All right. And I am going to use Elmer's glue to put all this down on, and then I'll go over it with a layer of Collage Page because Elmer's is cheaper, but Collage Page is what I like over the top to work over because it's got a sealer in it, and this doesn't really. And I usually get like the little school size bottles. You get them really cheap during back to school, so I stocked up during back to school because they're not gonna have to be sealed all on their own, so I don't care. Okay, so through the miracle of YouTube, I have glued all my papers down, and I did a coat of Collage Page over the top of that. I like that to work on better than the Elmer's, and Collage Page leaves a more matte finish, so I think it's going to hopefully stick together there really good. And I am going to find a good brush that I want to use for this. Maybe this one. That might work. I'm going to get it really wet, bring it over to my palette over here and get some really wet goobers going on because I kind of want it to get down into the and a little more water. Just kind of scooch it around. You can kind of start to see some of that embossing. Add a little more of that green back in. Rinse my brush out a little bit. Wipe it on my rag. And I'm going to add a little bit of white in here in a few places. I'm just kind of bring out that color a little bit. I kind of like it a little tealy and turquoisey. I'm going to put a little bit of this yellow. I kind of like it. Wipe it off though so I don't get it too mixed in. Just kind of give it a little something here and there. My paint bucket is just up there. You probably can't see it on the camera. That's where I keep going. Where my paint bucket, my water bucket. Okay. I'm going to take my squirty water bottle, which is hiding somewhere around here. Oh, there it is. I'm just going to kind of a bit more. Kind of just let it move a little bit, blend, maybe. Oh, come on. My squirt bottle does not like to. There we go. Lots of water. Now, I'm just going to kind of do this. Well, that's not quite what I hoped for, but let's just kind of mix it around again. There we go. It's a lighter coat, huh? Am I mumbling? Can you even hear me? I doubt it. I have a tendency to mumble. I think I'm just going to add a little bit more darker color in there is all. And so you can see some of the embossing. You start to be able to see the lines between the papers and kind of see a little bit better there. I'm not loving this paintbrush for this. I'm liking that though. I'm kind of liking that yellow going in there. Yeah, I'm thinking that's a good thing right there. I'm going to add a little touch more of green because I kind of like that color. It's kind of a teal color. Probably somewhat comparable to Golden's teal. Okay. Now I'm going to pause it and dry. Okay, now I am going to, well, first I'm going to wipe up my mess here so I don't just drag it back on. You can see I'm in desperate need of a new mat. I still haven't got one. I've managed to do all kinds of other stuff, but I keep putting this one off. I'm like, oh, I can go a little longer. Okay, so now I'm going to use Quinacridone Nicolazo Gold by Golden, and I'm just going to pop some out onto my thing here. First I have to get the goober off of there because I always have clogged up goobers in there. This is a fluid acrylic, so it's kind of runny. I'm not going to use that same brush again. I do not like that brush, Sam I am. Okay, it's a fluid acrylic, so I'm not even going to dilute it. Normally, if I was using a different color, I would dilute it down, and it's going to look kind of scary on here at first. But I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to wipe it off with a baby wipe, so we're going to get basically a glaze that's going to stay in all those little areas. And you know what? I am going to just need some more of that. Don't usually go nuts with this paint because it's so freaking expensive. It's like $10 for that little tiny bottle. Maybe it was more than that. Maybe it was 12. I don't know. It was a lot. But I really wanted that color, so what are you going to do, right? you either bite the bullet and get the color you want, or suffer along trying to mix it. And because it's it comes out kind of this dark, well, the color of this, but as it thins down, it goes to actually a gold. So, you know, hence the Nicolai's of gold, I guess. So it's kind of one of those paints that makes a really nifty transition from one color to another. I also like Winsor & Newton's Green Gold watercolor, because it does that too. It's kind of a green, and then it goes down to kind of a yellowy, greeny yellow, and it's really pretty, and I like it. Okay, so now tell me that is not amazing right there. Oh yeah. And it's kind of wiping back to the white of the paper. Well, not all the way back to the white of the paper, but you can, it's picking up the pattern where it's actually wiping off some of that green paint. Probably wasn't quite all the way dry, but I'm loving the effect, so, you know, go for it. Plus I'm getting a really pretty baby white. Now, because I did not cover the edges here very well with the, oh, come on. The adhesive I used? Yeah, the Collage Page. And I didn't, because I didn't paint blue over that part very well. You got the kind of funky edges there, but I'm sure I can live with that. Now, did that not make the most beautiful colors or what? And you know what? I haven't really done this combination before, so I am really tickled with how it turned out. Very happy. Oh, I love that. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to dry this and figure out what I'm going to do next, and I'll be back. So, after much ado, I have come up with something that I think I am going to like. So I am going to go ahead. I have this cool funky flower that I have had forever. I don't remember even where I got it. I'm just going to trim the corners off. It's kind of got corners. Except for that one corner, because I want it to go over her face. So I'm going to glue these down. And then stick them on my page. As I mutter with the glue lid in my mouth. You can tell I've kind of chewed up the end of my lid. I stick it in my mouth and pull off the lid with my teeth, and I can't talk when I'm thinking, apparently. Okay, so these I kind of want arranged, so I'm going to glue them together all as one piece and then stick it on. I kind of want it like that. And I want this one down here, I think. And that one, how did I decide to have that? Something like that. I think I'm going to ink my edges while I'm sitting here. I just now decided. And I think I'm going to use walnut stain today. Handy. I put the labels on the bottoms of all those. It's upside down there. I put them in my thing with my lid down so that the ink stays at the top. Yeah, that made a lot of sense, I'm sure. Now that you're thoroughly confused, I'm going to have to use this because I cannot find my felt inking tool. I have no idea where it went, but it's AWOL. Ooh, that's nice. That just gives a little something yummy along the side there. Actually looks a little older than it even looked before. I have no idea who this lady is, by the way. I picked that up, I think, at a garage sale. People sell their photos of family or whatever, and bonus for me, if they don't want them anymore, at least they're still getting, those photos are still getting loved. I personally wouldn't sell my photos just because I love old photos. But also, I don't know that I really want my family out there. Not even $4. There. Okay. Put my ink back. Okay. This is just going to kind of slip under there. My glue is still a little wet, so I can get by with that. And I want that. And I kind of like this little bit of tulle right here is kind of going over her hair, like if she had a veil, you know, one of those kind of veils the old hats used to have. I'm sure that's not the right word for it, but it's the tulle that would come, you know, or the lacy stuff that would come down over the front and sometimes over your face. I'm not sure if that would be considered a veil or... Ooh, I kind of like that. I think I like that right there. Okay, and with the glue. And the lid in my mouth again so I can mutter at you and you could not understand. Not like there's a lot of vital information going on here anyway, right? And let's glue down the lady. Okay. I think she might need a little bit of sparkle. I think I'll see if I have any of gems. Little gems that would go. Little sparkly bits of whatnot. Ooh. I kind of like those. Do I not have any turquoisey kind of colory ones? Drag the luck. If your little sparkly ones, no. See, here we go. Gibberish until I figure out what I want. Oh, no, those are bad. Ooh. Those are kind of cool. Okay. Ooh, and I have some leaves. And I had previously soldered these onto a wire to go around a candle, and I really suck at soldering. So I took it all apart, but the leaves were really cool looking, so I saved them to use for something. So that's what I'm gonna use them on here today. Because those are just, they have that funky, cool stuff on them. Oh, come on. Patina. Yeah, that's the word. They have that funky, cool patina on it where I tried to solder it, which means that probably that had I actually used those on something, it would have gotten all corroded and weird looking, so I'm sure whoever was going to get that would thank me now. So something like that. Maybe I want to kind of break those up and bring one down here. Maybe right down there. What do you think? Like you can really answer me, right? Just whip out your magic wand and answer me. Okay, I am going to use E6000 to glue those puppies down because that is metal. You could use glossy accents, but if you try to use a regular glue for that, it is not going to stick. You want to use something that's got a little stickum to it. Because like tacky glue and those kind of glues, they're not going to stick to that metal very well, and eventually you'll probably have these copper leaves somewhere in your box, on your floor, wherever you, in your living room, wherever you store your journals. Yeah, you will have those hanging around everywhere. That one. Oh, I did get some time. It's E6000. Okay, and I have to fix my tube because the E6000 likes to just keep coming out and coming out and coming out. And okay. Now, I think I am going to use a wee bit of Glossy Accents to hold down my gems, because I find that those sticky back gems, their backs are really not that sticky. Find a pair of tweezers here. There we go. Kind of see where I want them. Ooh, maybe one right on there. Are those going to be sticky enough? Oh, well, you know, those might stick good enough. Yeah, those ones are actually sticky, so. Oh, come on. There we go. I know I was careful about making sure my Glossy Accents was not going to get clogged. There. If you squeeze the air, squeeze it so that the air comes out the top and then let it suck back in, it clears the nozzle and then it doesn't seem to get so cropped up in there. Oh, now here we go. That one does have to have it. I think I'm just going to put a little goober over here. Oh, come on. There. Because that is going to need a little touch of Glossy Accents after all. The sticky comes off with the thing, that seems to be sticky enough, but they don't all seem to come off with their sticky on them. I'm not sure how that happens. I need better tweezers. I need better fingers. How's that? I need better fingers. That is just peeling off. Now it's stuck to my finger. Hello. Okay. That one I think I can just use my fingers. Yep, most of them are sticking. Sticking to the back of the sheet. What's the point of sticky back gems if they don't stick? It never even comes off the sheet with it on there. How is it supposed to stick to anything else, right? I'm gonna stick one right down in there. If I can get this goobered up good. And then just kind of hide that puppy right down in there. Oh, my son's home and the dog's in. I'll close my door. I'm filming, just so you know, yeah. Okay, I am also going to go around, I want a little bit darker brown around these edges, so I'm going to do that. I'm losing my, maybe there's some sticky on here, I can stick it on there so I don't lose it. Okay. Ooh, do I want any of those on there? No, I don't think so. I love the copper with the green. Okay, I like this. Feels like it still needs something, but I'm going to do the edges while I think about it. And I'm going to put this stuff And a drawer over here out of the way and close it. There. I'm getting hemmed in by all my stuff. And I think do I want to use ink to do the edges, or do I want to use paint? I don't know. Let me see if my Timber Brown will work okay on this. I think it's not going to be the color I really want. Although, yeah, that'll work. This just stays on. Oh, an interesting point. If you like to seal your pages with a polyurethane, I sealed the front of a book with polyurethane one time after I had used Timber Brown, and Timber Brown is this really dark, pretty brown. It's definitely not any kind of reddish in it. It's definitely a good brown. But when I put the polyurethane over it, it turned blood red. Only the Timber Brown changed. Nothing else changed. Just the Timber Brown. So, heads up, if you decide to go over something with polyurethane, know that Timber Brown will turn red. You're probably wondering to yourself, what the heck is she using to do that? I am using a makeup sponge that I squunched, stuck down in there, and glued it. Thank you, Lindsay Weinrich. If you happen to watch this, I was watching you too. And this sponge is not holding up really well, but I think it's because I have such a lot of amount, wow. A lot of texture, a lot of amount. Oh my gosh. And I'm supposed to be English speaking. But no, I am gibberish speaking. Find home. My baby wipe is not wet. Oh, hi Tucker. You just let yourself in? Hi, my poopy. Hi, my puppy. What you doing? Okay, out you go. Go dance somewhere else. Come on, out. My door to my studio is very stiff. I mean, it is hard to close. It needs to be planed down. And so I don't always shut it all the way. I just kind of shut it halfway. And our dog has learned that if he runs into the door with his head, it will pop open and he can come in here even when he's not supposed to be. So that's why he just came in. He let himself in. Crazy dog. Okay. I still don't know what else I need on there. Maybe I don't need anything else on there. Maybe I'm okay with it. You know, I think I like it just how it is. It's kind of simple. It's kind of plain. It's not uber jazzy all over the place. But I like it. So thanks for watching and going with me on this crazy adventure with my gibberish. And yeah. I will see you next time. Bye.